This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so I'm recording this. So we are just trying to identify something like an error handling. So after obj open, I have to check for so and so condition, that is like step status good or fail. So here I should be doing not before the method. After the method execution, I have to check whether that is good or not. If that is equal to good, meaning customer is existing. If customer is existing, I have to set this flag as true. So is customer existing equal to true? That is what I'm doing. Where I can do in this activity only, I can add a new step here. I can do property set, and within that property set, I can set that property value equal to true and property equal to true. When this step number 3 should be executed, only if obj open is success. So I can just use something like if so and so when condition step status good, if this is equal to true, let me continue further. Step 3, 4, 5, all these things will be executed. In this process, flag will be set to true. So by the end of this activity execution, my flag should be true. That is the only final thing I wanted to do. So if flag equal to true, visibility will work perfectly fine. Suppose if this when condition is failing, so let me consider this as the when condition. If this when condition is failing, when condition failing meaning step status good is failing, obj open is failing, customer is not existing. If customer is not existing, what I have to do? I should be setting the flag to false, meaning customer doesn't exist equal to false. So how to do that? If this is if failing, it will be coming to this segment, and here I can simply exit the activity. If I exit, then remaining steps will not be executed, right? So I don't want to execute remaining things. In this process, flag will be still true. Now I'm checking for perfect customer. Let me do that practical. So let me refresh this. Okay. So obj open is what I'm doing, and here I'm trying to use something like jump. So before that, let me create one flag property. So let me do that also. Okay, so I'm giving something like is customer existing, something like this. So is customer existing, this is one flag property, and simply click on create and open. I'm just creating one flag. So this should be boolean, right? Meaning true or false, right? So change to true or false and click on save. So I have created one flag property. Now my requirement of this flag is to set to true if customer exists, set to false if not existing. So let me open that section also. So this is our section. So in this section, we have just implemented positive scenario. I have to include negative scenario also. For that, let me take one paragraph rule, and additionally, we have to apply visibility. I am taking one paragraph rule and create one new paragraph rule from here. Just remove this. Let me create a new one. That is like message for invalid customer. Something meaningful. Simply create and open. So I wanted to show something like customer does not exist. Okay, or loan number does not exist. So whatever the value I enter, okay, so whatever the number I enter here, so that number, suppose 123, so below this loan number 123 is not existing, loan number 456 is not existing. So if I wanted to show that property reference, insert one property here. Okay, so loan number, then property reference. For that, insert a property, insert property. So what is that property reference? Something like, what is that? Loan number search, right? So let me use this. So loan number doesn't exist. So this is what I'm defining. So just a normal UI design, very easy. Now this paragraph rule, I have to call it from this particular section. So this is the section, and here what should be the visibility? Should not be visible all the time. If that flag equal to false, false meaning customer is not existing, then only write. So let me straight away use one condition expression, and let me use that property, is customer existing equal to false, that is enough. So let me save this, customer is equal to false, submit. And similarly this result grid, when it has to show customer equal to true, existing equal to true, let me open this one and apply visibility like is customer existing equal to true, that's it. So when customer existing equal to true, I will show this. When customer is not existing, I'll show this. Now the challenge here is like how to set the flag, that's it. So with that flag property, we are trying to do this. Suppose if you are joining any company as the medium level developer, maybe 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. So in that case, if you are getting a chance to design this activity completely, you will do. And if your manager is not expecting that you can do that, what your manager will do, he will be saying like, I have designed the complete activity and I am setting this flag on clipboard. Using that flag, you do the remaining front end part. This is the thing what they'll say. So ultimately the challenge or the struggle here is to set that flag only. Once the flag is set, remaining things anyone can do. So setting flag is the challenge here. Now I have to set that flag to true if obj open is good, false if not. So for that, I have to check for the condition after obj open, right? So let me click on this one. Let me use that property intern event condition. So step status good. So this is one OOTB when condition where we'll be having it in the base class. So just simply select this. So when this condition equal to true, meaning obj open is good, customer is existing. So I have to proceed further. Further meaning, anyway, in step number 3, page copy is what I'm doing. If this is the case, visibility will not work. I have to set that flag to true somewhere. So if this when condition equal to true, let me continue further. If this when condition equal to false, if this when condition equal to false, meaning customer is not existing. If customer is not existing, it is my responsibility to set the flag as false, right? So meaning somewhere I'm canceling this, somewhere I have to do property set. So let me proceed with the positive scenario first. I did not apply any conditions here. So let me add a new step and I'm going for property set, and within property set I wanted to set that flag is customer existing equal to true. So if I save it, what will happen? I have saved this. Now let me enter correct number. So I'm setting this, I'm just copying it and pasting it here. Now if I click on submit button, we know activity should be executed. I'm tracing it and let me click on submit. So this is working perfect. Let us see what is happening in the tracer. So step number 1, this is good. Obj open is good. Property set, this is also good. Okay, so if I just open py work page, that property value should be true. What is that? Is customer, right? So that value is showing up true. Okay, so we are setting this. So that is the reason we are not getting this paragraph rule. Actually paragraph rule is already included, so that has to be showing up now, but that is not visible because that is set with as false, but in clipboard we are getting it like true. Okay, fine. Now I'm entering some dummy data. Let me again trace it. I'm clearing this, again I'm tracing and clicking on submit button. So we know we'll not get any result. So let me open it. What are we understanding? Page new perfect, obj open is failing. So it cannot open the instance with this name. That is what is throwing error expected. After that, property set. Property set, what is it doing? Again setting that to true. So is customer existing? Again setting that to true. So it is very clear, like this step number 3 should be executed only if customer is existing, right? So step number 3 and then copying step number 4. All the below steps are to be executed only if obj open is good. So meaning, if this when condition equal to true, so if this when condition equal to true, let me proceed further. Set that flag, copy and other things. If this when condition is failing, obj open is failing, what for setting that flag? Again I have to change that to false. Suppose as per you are saying, like if I'm clicking on exit activity, what will happen? Exit activity meaning, so let me do that as per your statement. I'm saving it. Okay, so exit activity meaning when obj open is failing, just exit out of that activity. Activity will be just exit, stop there. Let me clear this and let me click on submit. If I click on submit, step number 1 page new is good, step number 2 is good. I mean like failing. If it is failing, activity end. This is what I'm saying. So if I'm just seeing this like activity end, obj open is failing, what should be my scenario? That error message should be showing, right? What is the criteria for error message? I have to set that to false. Am I setting it false? No. And additionally we are seeing one more problem, that is like this is visible. I should not show this also. Why it is showing? If I open py work page, what is this showing up? Why? Where are we setting true? Are we setting true anywhere in this case? So what is happening? So if I'm trying to click on this main button, I see this flow rule executed. Flow rule is getting executed. For one flow rule, only one py work page, right? Within that, if you are trying to refresh it for multiple times, data will not be gone. So now if I click on submit button in my py work page, so and so property set as true. In the positive, suppose this is positive scenario. If I click on submit button, I'm setting this to true on my clipboard. Since I am not creating new interaction, so this will be the same old thread. Old thread meaning same old pure page, same old value. Is customer existing will be true all the time unless you change it. Now if I click on submit button, I'm not changing it to false anywhere. By default, whenever we are going with the positive scenario for one time, value we are setting that to true, and that will be still true unless you change. So here what is the problem we are doing? We are not changing that to false anywhere, meaning exit activity, will this give you the perfect solution? What to do then? Anyone? So if obj open is failing, I don't want to proceed further. So you are saying like exit activity. If I'm using this exit activity, then I'm not setting that flag somewhere. It is my responsibility to change that flag value. What you'll do then? So you can use something like jump to later step. So jump to later step meaning you should be giving some label. I'm giving something like error or any meaningful thing. So let me submit this. So let me jump to something related to ERR, whatever the label name I'm defining. So there I'm setting that flag to false. So this is what you are suggesting, right? Let us see. So I'm setting this to false. Now if I'm trying to click on submit button, what should happen? This is not existing actually. So this is dummy data. Now if I click on submit button, let me put the tracer. What is happening? What is happening? So I can see obj open is failing. If obj open fails, so from step number 2 you are jumping to step number 6. Step number 3, copy is gone and property setting to true is gone. Fine. So whatever you said is correct, but not all that. Let us see what will happen. Now if I am entering positive result, I'm just copying this. Now if I'm entering positive result, now if I click on submit button, what is the thing expected? So obj open will be good. I have to show the result grid and I have to hide this. Let me trace it and let me click on submit. What happened? What happened? So if we just check the tracer, all the steps. Step number 1, good. Obj open is good. In step number 3, property set is true, which is expected. Then I'm copying the data. Again, step number 6. So here, what are you understanding? In the negative scenario, you are jumping from 2 to 6. What about positive scenario? Positive scenario also 6 to be executed, right? So what is the point of setting true here? Anyway, we are setting that to false. Then exit activity, what you said is not working, and this jump also not working. How to do this? So you can make this when condition executed on conditional basis. I should not execute this all the time. So you can just apply some when condition. Let me open this. What should be the when condition? What should be the when condition? PX method status. Huh? PX method status, what it will show? So whenever I am executing this particular step, if you are trying to check for PX method status, in clipboard, status will be there for the previous step. Page remove all the time, good only, right? What for using that step? You'll not, that will not work out. So you can use something like, what is it?
Value was already
So you can use something like whether the property is existing or not. So straight away use one when condition. And what is that property?
is customer existing.
No, not is customer. So you have to check this property, any of such property. So if you can just check something like this one. So if this is not equal to blank, okay, if this is not, if this is equal to blank, right? If this is equal to blank, then I have to set this. So I have to execute this when, so I have to execute this property setting on some conditional basis. That is like, if this value equal to blank, meaning we did not fetch out any result. In that case, flag should be false, right? Now, if this is equal to true, meaning blank, if blank, I'll continue. If not blank, skip step. I should not execute this step. So this should work out. Let me submit this and let me save. So whenever you are applying any conditions, you'll be seeing this highlighted border. Okay, so you can see some highlighted border showing here, and you can see some highlighted border here also. Okay, so let me save it and let us check for the positive and negative scenarios. Let me clear this and let me click on submit. What is happening? So we are seeing this perfectly showing up, meaning last step is not executed. So if we just check the thing, I can see step number skip got skipped out. Execution did not happen. When condition is stopping that. Okay, so this is positive. Let me check for negative. Let me trace it. So what is happening? If I click on submit, what is happening? What is happening? So I'm trying to jump from 2 to 6, which is expected. And in this step number 6, what are you doing? You are checking some when condition. So what is that when condition? If that account type equal to blank or not, because of the earlier search, that value will be there, right? So if we just open clipboard and see that particular page, what is that? Loan creation something, right? So this value will be showing up, account name type. So because of one positive search, this is there. So it is again stopping. So what you are supposed to do? So what is the best approach you can do here? So you can follow multiple ways. Again, I'm saying like activity can be designed in n number of ways. Okay. So before you obj open, you can go for something like page remove. If I go for page remove, so there I can simply remove this page. What is that page? This one, right? So I can simply remove this page. Will this work out? Will this work out? Tell me. Now, if I'm running this activity, step number 1, page new. Step number 2, sorry, page new. Step number 2, remove the page. Whatever the page I'm having in the clipboard, that should be removed all the time, irrespective of positive or negative scenario. In that case, will this work out? So in the last scenario, what is the when condition? So that page itself will not be created. If obj open is failing, we are not trying to, that page will be created but with the blank. So this should work out. So activity design has got lot many things. Different styles will be there. So now if I click on the submit button, are we not removing the page? Page remove. Okay, so that's a different story. So activity design has got lot many things, different ways of design. But here, all the time you are recommended to handle the negative scenarios. If you are trying to handle the negative scenarios, then anyway positive scenario you'll be working on it, and exceptions will be perfectly caught. So in this scenario, what is the negative thing? So what is my negative exception? Let me remove all my design. So this is my old design, right? Okay, so let me refresh. So here in this activity, anyway positive scenario is working perfect. So negative scenario meaning considering customer is not existing. If customer is not existing, I have to set that flag, right? So all the time, if you can set that flag to false, so I'm handling this negative for the first itself. So here I am trying to set that flag is customer existing equal to false. So what are we doing? First we are trying to create new page, and then I am trying to set that flag to false considering customer is not existing. In that scenario, so let us consider negative scenario. So I am entering some dummy value here where customer is not existing. Now if I click on submit button, this will be set to flag false, and our visibility will be working perfect so far. After that, when condition should be executed, sorry, obj open should be executed. If obj open is good, it has to proceed further. So here it will be overwriting to true. In the positive scenario, first we are setting to false. Because of this obj open, I am still making it to proceed further. Obj open is good and property set will be true. So positive scenario it will work out, right? And consider the negative scenario. Negative scenario meaning obj open is failing. If obj open fails, if I just exit the activity, that is enough. I am exiting the activity, meaning I am stopping the activity execution. So this is my final design. What we are doing here, I am trying to create one new page, and initially I am setting that to flag as false. So if obj open is failing, then I'll stop the execution there. Step 4, 5, 6 will not execute. By this time flag is anyway false, right? So things should come into place. Suppose if obj open is good, then we will proceed further, and here again we will overwrite the value. So this will be changed to true. So this looks more simple, right? So compared to adding or jumping to the next step, adding one when condition and just removing that page, other things, handling this negative scenario will be working perfect. Now let us see the execution. So now I'm clicking on submit button. This is working perfect. Correct, right? So let me check the positive scenario. What is happening? Perfect. If I'm changing this to something different, perfect. So let me trace it and understand what is happening. So now if I enter correct value, now I can see step number 1. Step number 2, I am setting that flag to false. Step number 3, obj open is good, so it will proceed further. In step number 4, I am changing that flag to true again. So step number 5, copying the data and then page remove other things. By the end of this activity execution, my flag will be true, and hence this is working perfect. Now consider the negative scenario. Negative scenario, page new, property set I am setting to false now itself, and obj open is failing. I am stopping the execution. So negative scenario also got handled perfect, positive scenario also perfect. So in this way you can able to do. If you wanted to follow some other approach also you can do, but in part of code review your manager can suggest something different what you might not understand. So he will ask that he will design the complete thing, and he will say like this will be the flag set. So you design the remaining part based on that flag. That is what the thing happened. Okay, if you are single working in your project, everything you have to take care of. Okay, fine. So here positive scenario is working perfect and negative scenario is also working perfect. And that too, here I have to take care of something like making this read only. I should not make this editable, right? So I have to make this read only. That is small part only. So just open this section, and complete section I can able to make read only always. Always, no conditional basis here. Just make it always and save it. Now if I click on submit button, this is working perfect. In this scenario, this is also working perfect. So in this whole process, there will not be any work object ID execution creation. So let me search for some 100 results, or you run flow for 100 different times. So once we run a flow rule, generally ID should be generated, but because of this temporary ID will not be generated, and hence there should not be any instances in the table. So now if I just click on this particular class, if I click on this particular class, its related work object should be opened, right? If I click on this framework class, its related work objects will be opened. Now if I click on this, will we get anything? So if I click on this, we will not get. Even though it is having a flow rule, it is having some ID generation, that we are making it temporary. If you open PY work page, or clipboard, PYID will not be there also. If I open clipboard, so will we have pure page ఉంటుందా? Without pure page, where will be maintaining this? What is the primary page for any flow room? Pure page lekapothe ela? So if we just scroll down, pure page should be there, and within pure page don't expect PYID. PYID will not be there because I don't want to create this as an instance. I don't think you'll see that property also. So PYID itself is missing, so property itself is not there. Okay, so this is the thing what you have to understand. So in this whole process we are understanding how to work with obj open, that is like activity usage, and how to work with this visibility condition, and how to work with jump statements. Jump meaning applying conditions after the method, and what is that, how to set these flag based things, and how to handle this negative scenario, all these things. This is very, very important discussion. Every one of you should understand. Any doubts, anyone? Online or offline? Online. Everyone clear with this requirement, right? So we are understanding something about obj open, where we are trying to pull one single instance. Okay, so if you are very smart, then you need not follow this struggle also. You can simply apply visibility based on that our property. So dot account type equal to blank, that is enough. With one single step we can do that. But the core functionality what you have to understand. Suppose, or let me give you one assignment. So the assignment is here is like, so this is our screen. So here you should be having one button called employee search. You should be having a button called employee search. Once you click on that button, so employee search, so once you click on that button, you have to show two radio buttons. You have to show two radio buttons, that is like search with employee number, advanced search. This is what you have to do. On clicking on this button, you have to display these two things. What you will do? Will you run a flow room? You should not create flow rooms all the time. On clicking on submit button, I have to show these two things. What is the visibility you apply for these two? That is my first question. Tell me, anyone? Anyone, online or offline? If I click on that, I have to show these two enabled. I mean like visible. How to do? What is that on clicking? You'll create a new flag and set it. Okay? So once you click on this particular button, identify the click event. On click event, set a new flag. Okay, set a new flag. So details should be showed equal to yes. Create any flag, set that to true. That is enough. On clicking on that, all the time that value will be true, and based on that true, you have to show these two things. Correct? That is correct. So on clicking on this, I will be showing these two things. Don't expect like you have to create a flow rule on clicking on this. You should not create flow rules all the time. So on clicking on this, you'll show this one. Now, if I select this one, employee search. So if I click on this one, I have to get one text box kind of asking for employee number 1, 2, 3, something unique number you enter, and you click on search button. Once you click on this, okay, so you have to get his own result. If the customer is not existing, again throw the error message. So you know how to do this. Fine. So the problem here is, if I click on this one, advanced search, meaning I don't know his customer ID, employee ID, I'm going for advanced search. This whole thing should be hidden, and I have to get something like first name, last name. Okay, advanced search meaning I'll be trying to enter what are all the information I know, maybe not his employee ID. I'll be entering his first name and maybe last name. If we enter these two things, maybe something third one also, first name, last name, and location, Hyderabad or something. Now if I click on search button, what I have to do? Suppose there are 10 matching results. So advanced search meaning multiple results will be there. If there are 10 customers matching these three information, I have to show first one, second one, third one, likewise 10 in number. How to do that? What you will do on clicking on search button?
OBJ Pro.
So you have to go for OBJ browse, not like OBJ open. In OBJ browse, you have to pass these three parameters. Whatever the value we enter, these three parameters I'll pass. Suppose if I'm having 5 things showing up, first name or last name or mobile number or location, his project name. So there might be 5 or 10 values, right? So what are all the things you are including in UI? Those are to be passed into my activity. OBJ browse, within that add properties, pass the parameters, and then you will be getting some results. PX results is what you'll get. So from the PX results, what you'll do? I have to show all the things like 10 below showing up. How many results we get? All the things I have to show one below another. How to do that? You are getting some data on clipboard. So till there, fine. After that, what is it?
There is any data transfer.
What for data transfer?
Result will be
I'm completely getting my data on clipboard. So getting data on clipboard is the biggest challenge. After that, I wanted to show it in my section. What you'll do there? So today I might be getting 10 results. Tomorrow, maybe with some other search result, I might be getting 20, right? Then how to handle this 10 or 20 or 30? Already discussed dynamic layout. What is it? You have to use table layout. So in table layout, what is the source?
page list.
So you have to give this page list as the source. If you define this page list as the source, how many pages we have in that page list, those many results will be showing up one below another. In this way, you have to understand. So if I just click on search button, in this case, OBJ open is what you have to do. Okay, and if I click on search button, in this case, OBJ browse is what you have to do. And another important thing, another important requirement is like you have to do all these assignments. So another important thing is like once you're trying to click on this search, you'll be getting two radio buttons, right? So employee search. So here employee number, what I'm entering, submit button, I have to show all these things, his first name, last name, all these things. Make it like editable. Okay, so earlier we have seen read only. Now make it like editable. So if I enter 1, 2, 3 here, and if I click on search button, I'll get customer first name, test, his mobile number, his age, some details I'll get. Now, since this is being editable, I can edit this. Instead of test, I'm changing it to test 2. And this is his mobile number. This is his age. I can modify, right? Since this is editable. After this, I have to get a button called update. So if I click on this button, what should happen? What should happen? These details are to be updated into table. How to do that? You have to do this
OBJ
also.
save.
You can do. What is that?
OBJ save.
So on clicking on update button, okay, what you have to do? You have to go for again activity calling, go for OBJ save. So in OBJ save, what you will do? OBJ save, what it can do? Will it take any class name or table name directly? You have to give page name. So whatever the updated information we are entering, so this information will be maintained somewhere on page. Go for OBJ save on that page. Okay, fine. And if I click on update button, this is what happened. Now include one more button called delete. What you will do in delete? So that record has to be deleted. If I click on delete now, what you will do on delete? Again activity. So obj open and obj delete both are exactly same. So delete is to delete single record, obj open is to pull out one single record. So with this obj open knowledge, you can do obj delete also. Nothing more different. Same. So you can just simply give that method name and so this particular page, that is enough. Automatically this has to be deleted. So these 4 assignments you have to practice. So first and foremost, include a button, main button. On clicking on that button, you have to implement obj open scenario and other radio button with obj browse, and within obj open or within obj browse, you have to do page list related things, table layout, and within obj open include update and delete buttons also. So if I click on delete button, I have to show one message like record is deleted. How to do that? Again flag. So set so and so flag, create a paragraph rule, set flag, everything. So whatever the thing we are discussing so far, with that knowledge you can implement all these things. We are discussing very elaborately. Every one of you should understand these requirements. You have to do this. And parallelly, please try to follow the daily assignments also. So daily assignments, you may not do all the things today itself, but the purpose of giving daily assignment is to make you engaged all the time into this PEGA. Suppose if I give so and so requirement, you have to first explore that requirement in Google, PDM, PEGA website. So if you just try to explore there, you will try to come across multiple new words. So what is this? What is that? So some kind of new words what you'll come to know. So during our further class discussions, then if you come across that word by that time, then you can easily correlate. So purpose of giving daily assignments, irrespective of your the next classes, this is to make all the time self-exploring and engaged into PEGA related things. So you have to be completely concentrating well. In that case, you'll get the output. Okay. So we don't have enough time to proceed further with the next topic today. Any doubts, anyone? Online or offline? So practice the daily assignments as well as the projects what I'm giving. Okay. So whatever the projects I gave you, those are also a bit challenging. So you should be practicing those as well. And apart from these projects and daily assignments, whatever the verbal assignments I'm giving, you have to please make a note, and you have to do that also in the test project. I asked you to design 4 projects, right? So in this test project, you have to implement all these things. All the time follow best standards. Okay, so during this activity execution, I told you different approaches. So ultimately, the best approach will be only one. So you have to follow the best approach and proceed further. Okay, clear? Shall we wind up? Okay.